Kara Lentz here in our Chicago studios at BTN, and this week's wrestling report is a little different than weeks past. Throughout the season, we have gotten to know wrestlers away from the mat. We've learned about Nate Jackson's ambition to become a sports broadcaster. We've learned about Adam Coon's ambition to work on a space shuttle, and we even have gotten to hear a wonderful Chewbacca impersonation from Jason Surtsis. These are all wrestlers that are currently in college, and this week we're actually going to take a few years past from graduation and talk to one wrestler, Rob Sulaver, who has been graduated from Michigan for almost about a decade. He was a theater major. He graduated from Michigan in the early 2000s, mid-2000s. He started his own fitness and nutrition company called Bandana Training, and recently he appeared on the reality TV series My Diet is Better Than Yours. And Rob is gracious enough to join us now from New York City. How are you, Rob?
I'm awesome. How you doing?
I'm great. Thanks so much for being here on the Big Ten Wrestling Report. I'm going to start out more recently, and you joined the reality TV series a little later in the season. How did this opportunity get presented?
Yeah, it's something I've wanted to do for a while with my background in theater and performance and storytelling. So it's something I've been pursuing, and I was lucky enough to be contacted by ABC, and then there's this huge kind of audition process that you go through, and it all kind of worked out, and I ended up down in Atlanta partway through the show and stepped on as Natasha's new trainer.
And for those of you that don't know what the show is about, it essentially joins an expert with a certain contestant on the show that has a variation in a diet and exercise plan. And with yours, it really varied from some other trainers on the show. And Rob, with your Division I wrestling background and perhaps training some other clients since you've been graduated, what was a kind of a shift in training a certain person that may not have that much of a rich history with exercise and training and even diet?
Yeah, sure. I mean, that's the huge challenge. It's interesting because we all have a very different relationship with this stuff. And as an athlete, I feel like, we're used to very aggressive training and we're used to a high level of discipline, but you always have to meet your clients where they're at. And sometimes that means kind of backtracking a little bit and finding some common ground and then going from there. And that's certainly what Natasha and I did. Is there any relation that you can make to competing in college? Well, it's the lessons that you learn from wrestling. I mean, I feel like so much of my career I could credit to the sport of wrestling, the discipline, the relationship we have with hard work, and all of what hard work can ultimately bring you. So you're trying to kind of take what you've learned and offer it to someone new who doesn't have those experiences, and that's not always easy, but I do feel like the stuff that wrestling has taught me has truly shaped my life and certainly my business as well.
Love seeing you with the bandana, and the bandana and the war paint, I think, was probably one of the more entertaining parts of the show. Describe the significance of the bandana.
Yeah, the bandana, I feel like officially kind of started at Michigan. For whatever reason, my teammates and I at the time started to wear a lot of bandanas, and it became kind of a thing. There was sort of a practical aspect to it in that it was almost like a sweatband to keep the sweat out of our eyes when we were, training in the gym or going for runs. But it certainly became a pre-workout tradition for us, and it took on a lot of meaning for me. It was that thing that you did right before a workout it was symbolic of taking that next step towards achieving whatever goals you were hoping to achieve. And so I fell in love with the bandana. I was kind of wearing it all the time. And then when I moved to New York, I was always rocking the bandana when I was working out. So a lot of people in the gym started calling me the guy in the bandana or the bandana trainer. And then when the whole company thing came around and I was trying to come up with the name Bandana Training, it seemed to fit.
It was interesting when I was a Division I athlete at Michigan with you. It was always really intriguing to look around and to see the other training sessions that other sports teams did. And I always have given huge credit to wrestlers, and especially wrestlers at Michigan. Can you give us one training session that was perhaps the most difficult you ever went through?
I don't even know if I could pick one workout. We had so many grueling workouts at Michigan and throughout my wrestling career. Wrestlers just know how to work. And there was a recent article in Forbes about the success of wrestlers, how that hard work does transition very nicely to business success as well, because it requires the same skill set to have success in business, and that that nose to the grindstone mentality. But no, not one specific workout, just thousands of them, really.
Well, the success that you have, Rob, is certainly a hybrid of your interests: college wrestling, theater major, and now pursuing reality TV. What's next?
Oh, geez, that's what I'm asking myself right now. I loved this opportunity for My Diet is Better Than Yours. I really do love, storytelling and being in front of the camera. So I'm looking towards additional opportunities in that realm. I've been approached by a couple publishers about the possibility of writing a book. So lots of fun things happening right now. I'm kind of trying to figure that out myself.
Well, Rob, it's been a pleasure to watch you on the ABC series. Thank you so much for the time, and maybe a BTN bandana might come into play on TV here soon. What do you think?
I think that sounds like a great idea.
All right. Thanks, Rob.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.